Hello, it's Melissa and I'm here at ShopEco to talk to you today about how to tell when your makeup and your skincare is expired. I'm a certified esthetician and this is a really great topic to discuss. This actually comes up from time to time with my clients, and I just want to make sure that all of you are doing the best you can to take care of your skin by not using products that are no longer fresh to be applied. So there are a lot of different ways that you can actually tell whether your skincare or your makeup is expired. And I'll get into the official way to do that in a moment, but say you have a product that's been kicking around for a while. If it's over a year, it's probably expired. That's the easiest rule of thumb if you're not sure. There are some things that you can stretch a little further, but generally that year mark is where you want to cut it off. If it's mascara or lip gloss, definitely sooner, but 1 year should be your official cutoff if you're just not certain. And when in doubt, you can just pitch it if you just don't want to risk it. Sometimes you'll notice that a product will no longer have the right texture, scent, or color anymore. When dealing with natural beauty products like you are with most of the products on our shelves here, that can be a little bit trickier because natural products do have the ability to vary a little bit, and they can slightly have some changes over time that are considered normal, especially with using the plant-based ingredients. A little bit of separation can happen. So if you're ever unsure, you can definitely give us a ring or an email and we can walk you through that and let you know what is and isn't normal for a particular product. But generally speaking, if you're looking at a product and it just doesn't look, feel, or smell right, it probably isn't fresh anymore. But the easiest way is to catch it before you even have to think like that. So you want to follow the rule of thumb of period after opening, the open jar symbol, and expiration dates. That is going to be your easiest way to keep track of your skincare and your cosmetic products and making sure that you're using everything that is the freshest. So let me show you what I mean by the period after opening or the open jar symbol. So the open jar symbol is something I believe that was started in Europe and then has expanded into North America over the last decade. It's a really handy symbol that you will often find on the product packaging. Sometimes you actually find it on the product label, but generally you're going to find it on the product packaging. And you can find this across the beauty industry. That is going to make your life a whole lot easier because that means that the company that formulated this product knows with their preservation system how long their product is going to last for you once you open it and expose it to the elements and start using it. Especially with makeup, when you're applying it, they understand that there is going to be some contact, especially if you're using a brush to your face to maybe an eyeshadow or a blush. So that symbol is going to be what really, really helps you. Expiration dates are also really handy. You're not going to see that necessarily on every skincare and cosmetic product, but when you're dealing with something, for example, with a sunscreen or a sunblock built into it, then you're for sure going to see an expiration date built into that as well. And you can sometimes see both together on a packaging. And in that instance, you want to honor whichever one comes up first. So if the product is expired, you know that the ingredients are waning and they're no longer going to be as effective, and their preservation system isn't going to be able to protect the product inside from potentially going off with maybe a bacterial load. If the open jar symbol comes up first, that means, again, the preservation system is coming up. They know that with the exposure to oxygen and potentially you touching it, it's no longer going to function. So generally speaking, you're just going to go with whichever one comes up first. So I brought over a whole slew of examples so that I can show you and make it really clear and kind of give you some rule of thumb periods for product. Okay, so first I wanted to show you with a foundation. So this foundation happens to be from ShopEco Cosmetics. And this one has, I don't know if you'll be able to see it because it's pretty dark with the lighting, but it's actually right there. So this one actually has an expiration date. So this one is good until March of 2023. So you're getting a good long stretch with this foundation. So it is in an airless pump. Airless pumps definitely help to expand the life of a product because you're not exposing it to the elements such as oxygen, where oxygen can create oxidation. Kind of think of like a blackhead, or that oxidation creates the blackhead with the dirt and the debris and the oil and the pore. Oxidation can happen to your products. So when it's in an airless pump, you can actually get a little bit longer of a stretch with a particular formulation. Next up, I brought over a blush eyeshadow from Fit Glow Beauty. So this one has that open jar symbol that I was talking about. So you can see it right there next to the leaping bunny. And this one is 24 months open jar. So generally with pressed powders such as blushes, bronzers, contour powders, highlights, eyeshadows, anything that's generally a pressed powder, even loose powders, you're generally getting 2 years out of. They don't grow bacteria as easily. They're a pressed powder. There's not generally like water involved in a lot of liquid. And it's the minerals, like minerals don't grow bacteria as easily. So you generally speaking have a longer run with these types of products. You still want to keep an eye on it. I still say at that year mark, you want to take a look at that pan. Does it look okay? Does it have a funny discoloration and a texture to it? Because if you're not somebody that's washing your brushes regularly and practicing good brush hygiene, then you can actually throw your product off a lot faster. Or if you're naturally oilier skin type and say you're acne prone, again, you're introducing with that brush back and forth, potentially more microbes. Even somebody with rosacea, one of the theories is there's an overproliferation of that microbiome of bacteria that we all have on the surface of our skin. Just like gut health, we talk about that a lot, about the biome and the good and bad bacteria in the gut. It's the same thing on the surface of your skin. So even though there is that good bacteria, you can have an overproliferation, particularly with rosacea and acne type skins or prone conditions. So when you're introducing that extra bacteria load to the product, you might find that your product goes off a little faster. So just keep that in mind. Another great example is a cream-based product. This is a Face Glow Tinted Primer. This one has a 6-month, try to get to focus on that, open jar symbol. So nice and clear on the bottom of the box of this one, letting you know that with their preservation system, it is an airless pump, but they recommend to use it in 6 months. With a lot of our products, because we're using some really great plant-based ingredients, think about your kitchen, plant-based ingredients in your kitchen, they're gonna go off a lot faster, right? Than maybe a synthetic ingredient from the lab. And that's okay, that's what we want, that's what we signed up for. You wanna use your product, and really if you are using Face Glow every day, you're gonna go through it probably within 4 months anyways, so you'll beat it before you even meet that 6 months. This is a great product. If you haven't tried it, I highly recommend it. It is awesome. Coola. So I've got an SPF product for you. SPFs, again, they're definitely going to have an expiration date. Actually, we have a couple of eczema products here that have a natural health number through Health Canada. I guarantee you they have an expiration date on the box as well. So anything that is considered medical, so sunscreen is considered medical, has to be run through Health Canada to prove that it's going to protect you. So it's going to have an expiration date. So these guys right here, you can see that is January of 2024. Now I know we do have some products around here that have to, I could not find them or remember for the life of me that have those two together. But if we're ever in person and I come across it, I will let you know. I have Eco Tan. So this is your self-tanner. This one has an open jar symbol of, you can see it in the high gloss there, of 12 months open jar symbol. And then I've got some face masks. So face masks, depending on the platform, you're gonna go through a little bit faster. Yep, okay, so this one right here from Consonant is in a squeeze tube, so less oxygen is getting at the formulation. So this one is a 12-month open jar symbol. It's really tiny, I can see it on the back. I'll save you from having to squint your eyes. But these two are in pots. So every time you open it, it's the whole opening, right? So that's a lot of oxygen. And potentially people are using their fingers. So these makers are understanding that some people might be actually putting their fingers in to scoop the product out, or using a mask brush directly into the container. Same with eye concealers. Again, the manufacturers are working under the assumption that there is potential for a little bit more cross-contamination in these instances. So these ones are, it's gonna be harder to see because they're small, but there is one right through there and there is one right here. These are both 6-month open jar symbols. So they're gonna go a little bit faster. So you have to keep that in mind. When something has that much oxygen exposure, it's going to go off a little bit faster. And again, just to encourage you to definitely check your products so that way you're on the up and up and not to make any assumptions. I have 2 serums. Both are fantastic and both are in airless pumps. But again, different ingredients, different companies. They know their products, they know their formulations. Their chemists have checked this. Be grateful for chemists. They are the superheroes of products. Without chemists, we wouldn't have any of this. So thank you, science. So this one from Shaft is 6 months open jar. And then this one from Ficlo Beauty is 12 months. Now, Ficlo Beauty, a lot of their products do it a little bit differently. So on the side of their packaging, where they kind of list all of the things about their product, like cruelty-free, vegan, paraben-free, silicone-free, organic actives, plant actives made in the US, and they have the leaping bunny, but right in the bottom line, it actually says use within 12 months. So they haven't gone the open jar route with theirs or necessarily an expiration date, but they have denoted somewhere on the box how long to expect their product to last with their preservation system. Moisturizers, same idea. Again, it's not necessarily ubiquitous across the product spectrum of how long something is going to last. Because again, Shaft, we got a moisturizer, it's 6 months, and then Consonant, we have one that's 12 months. But you're getting the idea, 6 to 12 months. That's why I say usually 12 months is kind of your safe zone if you're really uncertain of a product. But you want to keep in mind that it could actually be sooner depending on what it is. Then I have some more cosmetic-y products for you. Ficlo's foundation is used within 12 months. Again, they wrote it on the side. And then I wanted to show you, so mascaras is kind of a contentious one. Definitely don't stretch mascara to the year mark ever with any mascara unless it specifically says on the packaging. Generally speaking with mascara, if it doesn't say it's 3 months, that's when I want you to stop, because the bacterial load builds really, really fast in mascara and lip gloss. Think about those two products. They are a liquid type platform, right? And you're introducing it to 2 open areas of the body. So your mouth, lips, a lot of bacteria growth there, and same with the eyelashes. So that's where you're gonna go through it a little bit faster. Again, some brands say something different. So for example, sorry, I'm getting dry. Ficlo's Plum Lash Primer, it does say use within 6 months. So generally speaking, their mascaras, you can stretch to that 6-month mark. Now, I don't know about you, but I find that with mascara use every day, by 6 months, I think it's going to feel pretty dried out and pretty used up. So you're probably going to want to change it anyways, but you can with those products. Whereas Sappho, they don't have a marker. I would always say 3 months, be done with it. For the safety of your skin and your eye health, just be done with it. It's one thing out of your entire beauty ritual that you're going to be replacing the fastest out of everything. Just do it. You'll be so happy that you did that for your eye health and safety. It's not worth the eye infection. It's not worth the sty. It's not worth the pink eye or anything else that you could potentially get from using that product past its open jar mark. And then last but not least, I wanted to bring over a lip type product. Again, it's like a lip gloss type product, even though it's a lip serum, same idea. This one, you can see it says that use within that 6-month time frame. So you just want to make sure that you're honoring these symbols to do the best for your skin health, because when you're using a product that's off, you're introducing free radicals. You're potentially introducing mold and bacteria, especially if you've been using the product and you have been using your fingers or your brushes direct contact with these products. That bacteria can really build up, and you're working hard to make your skin its best and its happiest and its clearest and its brightest and its most youthful, but you don't want to mitigate all that hard work and your hard-earned dollars by using something that's no longer fresh for your skin. So be consistent, use your products. You bought them because you wanted them and you like them, so use them before they have a chance to go off. And then some things to keep in mind with your products and how to keep them around longer, things that might reduce their longevity. So if you store your products in direct sunlight, that's never ideal, whether it be an essential oil, a lotion, any skincare product, or a cosmetic. Just like your face when you go outside, and we all use SPF, it's the same thing with a product. You want to make sure that you're using or keeping it out of direct sunlight, because it will over time damage it. Just think of like something that whether you work in an office or I've seen it in classrooms or even here, you know, you have a window and you put something in the light and a label, or you move a frame off the wall or a product, like you'll notice that the label is actually faded because the sun will create that damage. It's the same thing that can happen to the ingredients inside. Heat can definitely affect a product, so you don't want to put anything in any direct heat areas. High humidity, so you know, if your bathroom is really high humidity, that can throw a product off. So if you're noticing any of your products going off really fast, that could be a part of it. Make sure you use the bathroom fan if you have one. Using your fingers directly into a product, again, some of these products, they understand that you're going to be doing that, but you want to make sure that your hands are very clean before you're doing. I know that's kind of goes without saying, but you know, people forget, we get busy. People forget. I've heard it, I've seen it from the best of the best, and we're all human. That's why we have preservatives too. But you know, make sure your hands are clean before you put it in, and try not to double dip. Think of it like eating out. You would never double dip because it's gross, right? With a whole room full of people, especially like acquaintances. So it's kind of the same thing, because once you touch that space and you go back into a jar of product, you're bringing more bacteria into it. So we try to, around here, whenever possible, we have a whole collection of these to give you these wonderful reusable scoops that you can wash in between each usage. You can use these with, we provide them for anything from moisturizers that are in a balm container, facial masks, so that way you can scoop it out. You can pop some on the back of your hand and use your brush to paint your face with it, so that way you're not constantly putting your finger in. It's going to help to slow down that degradation for you and help your product to last better. Same with concealers and our natural deodorants in the putty jars, any of our body balms. So I'm like scanning the store here. What else do we do it for? All the things. So if you need a reusable scoop, we've got you. We want to make sure that you know, you're helping to get your product to last the best, the cleanest, as longest as possible. And then you don't have to worry about it getting under your nails and you have to sit there and pick it out. Adding ingredients, you definitely don't want to do that as well. The products were formulated a specific way. You know, there's ratios to everything. They know, the chemists, when I say they are in the know, the chemists, as to what ingredients work with each other, what ingredients would negate each other, how much preservative they need to keep the product that they've created without adding anything extra, like what they need for that. So do be aware that when you are adding ingredients to other products, that you are changing the composition, and that's potentially throwing the whole thing off. Never dilute your sunscreen anyways, like that's a never. But if you're gonna kind of play around with anything, like say you wanna cut your foundation with something, like don't do it in the actual foundation jar. You could mix it in like a little Tupperware container. Same with like an unscented shower gel. You want to add just a few drops of essential oil, do it in its own container. You don't necessarily need to go right into the product, because then you're changing the whole thing and you won't know how long that's going to last or how the potency is going to change. So definitely keep all these little things in mind to get the most and maximize your investment and your products for your skin health and safety. All right, I hope this helped answer that topic easily and quickly for you and gave you some great examples. If you're ever uncertain, give us a call, especially if it's for a product that we carry or have carried. We can generally double check on the wall what the open jar symbol is, and we can check against your beauty profile with us, and we can see when you purchased it to help give you a roundabout number, because we want you to stay happy and healthy for as long as possible, and radiant and glowing, darling. All right, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out via phone or via email. Thank you for joining. And then if you would like your chance to get a $20 ShopEco gift certificate, all you have to do is at the end of this video in the comment section below is leave us a comment with your question or topic on anything related to health, beauty, wellness, cosmetics, anything you want us to talk about. And if we happen to pick your topic for an upcoming video, you're going to get that gift certificate. And this is open to all Canadian residents, excluding those from Quebec. Well, thank you for joining. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we will talk again at some point soon. Bye.